got a little bit thrown off because normally I have calls every hour, and the hour of my last call was at 9:30. So I got a little bigger lottery of time. Anyways, you didn't show up for all that information. Sorry, a little too much coffee. I don't know. How many of you know that when I was 19 years old, I was playing junior hockey and we won a national championship. And during the national championship, I got knocked the fuck out in the very first game. So as a captain of the team, I got to watch my team hoist the cup, and I was in street clothes. So you can imagine what that did to a 19-year-old not being able to play because of concussion. Like, use some smelling salts, Buttercup, and suck it up. Well, that's when we just started to realize that head injuries are kind of a big deal. So when all my buddies stayed around and partied all summer long, I got the hell out of there, and I bought my first rental property on April 1st of 1998. Now, I went all in. I spent $10,000 on weekends to learn about buying homes and flipping homes, and we had 42 rental properties by the age of 22. Now, this all started with $1,000 each from my dad and myself. We bought 620 Gilbert Street was our first property. So what does that have to do with the topic? Knowing what I know now, if I was 19 and I knew about revenue share, I would go all in. And I was kind of joking about this, and I was having this conversation with someone a while back, and I said, at 19, if I could have had an opportunity like this, and I said something vulgar, and I shouldn't have said it, and you ever say something, and that the second that you say it, you're like, wow, I don't need to ever say that again. Pretty disappointing. Yet I was like, I don't care what I'd have to do. If I could have that opportunity at 19, I'd do it. Every once in a while, you're going to get an opportunity in your life, and you're going to have to take a risk and go all in. Now, at 19 years old, guess what? You have the ability to fall down. Heck, I went bankrupt at 25, and now I got an 800 plus credit score. We're fine. It was one of the best things that ever happened to me, and I'm so glad that I went all in. I was a millionaire, and then I went bankrupt, and it's part of the journey. If you're young, take more risks. I mean, be okay being broke. Like, in your 20s, you don't need to make a lot of money. What you do is you align yourself with people that you'd like to be with, because here's why. You can get their decades of getting their teeth kicked in and be associated with their sphere of influence. So, for example, one of y'all would be smart to send your 19-year-old kid here instead of going to college and just have them sit. Well, I don't even have a couch here yet. Have them sit here on the couch and be my little, again, there's certain things that I've taken out of my vocabulary, and just hang out with me for the next 4 years. Now think about that. Think about if one 19-year-old went off to college, doesn't know what they want to do, and they just, whatever, got their bachelor's in home economics. Who knows? Again, this isn't a knock on college education. The other 19-year-old spent 80 hours a week with me doing everything from picking up cigarette butts to making my life easier. All of a sudden, after 4 years of hanging out with me, would he or she have a pretty good network? Where am I going with all this? There's opportunities right now, and a lot of our young kids are thinking that they got to follow the normal path. Go to college, get married, have kids, do all that. I'm saying, you know what? Let's buck this system a little bit and say, what do you really want to do? Or more importantly, what don't you want? Some of our kids right now might be better served by going and risking it and going for an opportunity like revenue share. Revenue share has completely changed our lives. And if I had an opportunity like this and I was 19 years old, and I would go all in on it. Risk a little bit more. Go after it. Nobody sits on their deathbed and says, well, I'm glad I played it safe. I'm glad I stayed in that job for 40 years and took no risks and I got that retirement. Do you want to how many times I see people get to the retirement age and then this happens? Health goes away. Something happens in their life where they've worked their whole life. Now, all of a sudden, they work their ass off and they have all the money in the world, yet now they can't go enjoy it because you know what? They were working for a destination, which was retirement, and it's not what they planned for it to be. That's why right now I feel like I'm retired. I do whatever I want when I want. I don't do anything for money. And guess what? I make more money. That's why right now, if EXP wants to buy the National Coaching League, have at it. This thing can grow super big. I don't want to do it. I've got everything worked out. 36 to Life works. So you want to be a coach works. It's ready to be scaled. I like my simple life. Why? Because you know what? None of us are guaranteed tomorrow. And if you have an opportunity, you take it. This video probably makes no sense to anyone that's watching it because this is more about a year from now. I can look back at this video and say, okay, what did come to fruition? So I'm going to predict the future. I'm hoping that EXP has agreed to buy the National Coaching League in 36 to Life. And so you want to be a coach in time management 365 and you can't out earn stupid. Here's why. I believe in 5 and 10 years when I'd be ready to scale something, when my kids don't want to hang out with me, when my kids aren't around all the time, it'll be too late. See, timing is important when it comes to opportunities. I'm not willing to do by myself what it will take to scale this. EXP is set up perfectly to have this blow up and be huge and help a lot of people. Sometimes what you need to recognize is, yeah, timing might be better 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. However, when it's the opportunity, you take it. So it's more about a year from now to see if I actually pulled it off, see if I pulled off selling everything to EXP and then still being a part of it. Whole reason I want to sell is because we can make this thing big if I don't have to take on the responsibility of doing all the stuff of the X's and O's. Thinking out loud. That's what I do. So watch the journey. See if we end up selling it. Or I might just give it to them. Who knows? Goodbye.